Okay, officially, the recording has started. Good morning. Welcome out to the Options Income Launchpad Tuesday opening bell. My name is Scott. I will be your host. As always, keep in mind what we do is for education and illustrative purposes only. Nothing is intended as a recommendation to buy or sell any security or financial product. We are not brokers. We are not advisors. Therefore, nothing we do should be interpreted as personalized investment advice. All decisions you make should be done so at your own risk. Yada, yada, yada. The rest is all there. What's our agenda? We'll look at the opening futures. We'll look at the news, what's coming our way. As a heads up, the first week of the new year, we are going to shift, it looks like. I'll let you know formally, and I'll go in and I'll make the changes to the calendar. But it looks like we're going to shift to a market start time rather than checking in 15 before. We're going to just dive right into the markets. So, yes. That's the thought. Give me now. I said if anyone has strong feelings about no, we really like the open. Let me know. And nobody's let me know. So I'm assuming that means that the sentiment is let's give this a shot. So those of you listening at home, keep that in mind. Bob, I like it the way it is. Okay, that's fair. I'm leaning a little that way myself, but the powers that be, the feedback that we've gotten, Bob, it is moving away from us. is what it looks like. I like a little bit of time before the open. I think it's been, and maybe it's because we haven't. Maybe it's because we haven't had like a big down opening in a while. When we have those where it's like, oh shit, the futures are down 1.5%. Those are tough mornings, and it's always good to kind of be like among friends, if you will, to kind of talk about like, oh, what are you gonna do? When the market appears as if it's going to open below a stop, that's worth a discussion, but it just doesn't happen that often, right? And so most of the time, it's just like blah blah blah. Scott's yapping. He's not saying much. I don't know. More time in the market. Don't run for the hills. Yeah, where you talk about, hey, take your stop off. Give it 20 minutes. Work your way out. You'll be better. My thought is that if I ever see one of those days, when we shift, if we ever see one of those days, I can either like start 5 minutes early just to like come in, or B, send an announcement that, like we do, where we're like, hey, this is about to start. I'd be like, hey, this is about to start. Also, futures are way down. Check your stops. Make sure that you're not going to get picked off on the open. Because that's what you're trying to avoid. That's what you're trying to avoid. Okay, Doug likes that. That's a big one I think that can help, is if there's ever like a time when the futures are in a bad place, we can send some messaging that just sort of reminds people. I don't know. So Kent and Bob, I feel you. What would the change be? Stephen D said. It would basically be starting 15 minutes later and going for an hour during market hours. Instead of starting at 9:15 and talking about like what's going on, it would be like, we would fly quick opening and the market's already open. It's already moving. All right, I've got a few. Why is market time preferred? Rosanna wants to know. More time to discuss or potentially put trades on. So it does feel like there's a little bit of the opening stuff would be much shorter. We'll just dive in. So you know what? We can give it a shot. I am starting to see more people who are like, well, I don't know. Maybe I'll have another chat with the powers that be, and we'll see what happens. But what are we going to do today? Opening futures. No, we talked about this. Opening futures and news, my economic calendar, mindset for trades, opening range, early week opportunity lists. There is no trading plan section of the week. Right now, in the next couple of weeks, your job is to assess, evaluate, and assess. Be thinking to yourself, on a scale from 1 to 10, how comfortable am I with this? And that's the deal, is you're not ranking it like, well, I don't know how to score it. I want you ranking it based on your comfort level of like, this is how comfortable I am that these rules are the right rules, that they'll keep me out of trouble. This is how comfortable I am that, and then give it your scores. And what that's going to do is that's just going to easily flag and highlight which sections you should be working on first and prioritizing. All right, let's go get into it. Let me get this reloaded. Economic growth unexpectedly accelerates, pushed by, I told you, the indomitable U.S. consumer. Copper hits 12,000 for the first time as tariffs upend market. Futures slip. Did we slip? Oh, yeah. A little. Futures are down 0.21 for the S&P, 0.24 for the Dow, 0.26 for the NASDAQ, 0.58 for the Russell. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, wait a second. If the economy grew unexpectedly by 4.3%, why is the market responding negatively? Because, as Steve C said, good for the economy, bad for a dovish Fed, right? Bad for a dovish Fed. The Fed's not going to be thinking, oh, there's the opening bell. The spending is good and it's pushing the market. Well, you can't convince two things at the same time. You can't convince that everything is great and we need a rate cut. Right? That's hard messaging right there. Now, if things are not great, then there's more problems. But yeah, that's definitely what it is. Okay, thank you, Greg. West Coast is definitely harder, though we start at 6:15 West Coast time, which is pretty early, is what I hear from some West Coast folk. So yeah, I would tell you this. I prefer having a little bit of time, but I get it that we do get cut off. We only get 45 minutes during actual market hours. Whereas, people are preferring a bit more in the market hours. So that's the direction we seem to be going. Okay, what do we have? We have GDP stronger than expected at 4.3. We have durable goods down. Production down slightly from the forecast, not much. Capacity utilization came in as expected. Production came in slightly ahead. We won't get consumer confidence until a little bit later. Yeah, we'd like to see this back in the upper 90s or over 100, and it's down in the low 90s. So it's interesting that the GDP came in better than expected due to better than expected consumer spending, and yet what people tell us is we're not feeling it. What their wallet says is, yeah, they're feeling fine. They're going to still spend their money. They're still going to. I believe there's some scary debt numbers, credit card balances, and the such are unfortunately helping. They're unfortunately helping that consumer spending, but it is what it is. Okay, the rest of this week, what do we have? Hardly anything. So the rest of this week, we have consumer confidence at 10 o'clock. Tomorrow morning, we have the jobless claims reports. And that's it. Don't forget, tomorrow, market closes 1 p.m. Eastern, 3 hours early, half day. Tuesday or Thursday, the market obviously is closed. Friday, we would expect it's a full day, but we're going to expect very light volume. Very, very light volume. Any questions, let me know. All right. Well, let's go take a look at it. Let's see how things look, what we like, what we don't like. Open down, already got it back. Let's take a look at that. That was fast. Boom, boom. Open down here, shot up. It's moving. The buyers are trying to come back in. Yeah, buyers are trying to come back in. Okay. Let's pop back out of here. So it's holding up. It's holding up. Let me get my watch list ready here. Think this week will be a push. As far as market posture and just like market advancement, I kind of do feel that way. Yeah, that's what I would lean toward. Just kind of a wash. 4-day trade on what? CHG? Is that the symbol? Oh, change 4-day trading. Is that what you're asking? A little bit. So, okay. Yes, we got some things trying to happen. Let's go through. let's go through the list. Okay, starting at the top. Apple. So Apple, you can see we were kind of like, is this thing going to try to make a push? Is it going to try to move in a way that gets back, gets back into a bullish bounce? It's still above the 50. Still above the 50, so we do have that. Let's keep going through here. AMKR wanted to turn. Yesterday gapped up, couldn't hold on. Today down a little, but trying to push. Overall, the bounce it's looking for is still there, still in place. Amazon's actually done a little better than expected on it. It bounced off the 200. It's back above the 50. I needed to get at least to here, maybe a little higher, and then I would think maybe it's back in a place of productivity. Let's see. What else? AVGO, nope. Not really moving much. AXP. Now, AXP, I actually had looked at for an alert yesterday. And when I got to the options, I didn't love them. Anyone notice that? Let me know if you have. But no, they weren't great options. Yeah, the spreads were a little too wide. That's exactly right. They were just a little too wide. And so with that in mind, I was like, well, I didn't like it enough that I wanted to put it out, and I ended up switching to a different one. So yeah, that was one of the issues. Okay. Bank of America. Still working. Citigroup. So like we said, we are in the right spot. Financials. If you were able to get some financials in place, you're in the right spot. Yeah. Meta rising today. Okay. Caterpillar's another one. Trying to move. So today's trying to get into position. It's making an effort. Let's see. What else do we have? CLS bouncing off the 100, but trying to bounce at least. Okay. Coherent. So Coherent had a good turn, gapped up, and now it's still trying. Credo pulling back. Let's see. Cisco. Cisco's an interesting one. Gapped up, pulled back, gapped down, running up. Still looks viable. Still looks like it has what it needs. Give it some time. Delta, kind of sideways. Dow, kind of sideways. Fox, pausing. First Solar, pausing. Okay. GE. Wow, GE really took off. We saw some good stuff in the industrial sector. But yeah, this is definitely a leader here, isn't it? Gold. Metals still look a bit overextended. Okay. GM. GM is moving. Google moving. Goldman not moving. So some financials not doing as well as others. GTX kind of flat. Okay. Let's see. Sorry, my watch list is a little stalled here. Howmet. Overextended. IBM still holding. That IBM's actually in an okay spot here for a potential bounce. Intel's just kind of holding support. We'll see if this is able to move. Stochastic still looks viable. Okay. JCI holding up. J&J still setting up. I'm still okay with this. You know, it's still a higher low. Lumentum pushing against old highs. Let's see. Eli Lilly pushing up. Lam Research. Macy's. I would say Macy's is still viable. Macy's is still viable. Okay, let's keep looking here. MasterCard. Look at MasterCard trying to bounce off of this little thing here. Make a recovery. Meta's trying to regain some ground. Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley was one I was obviously looking at. Flat for the day. Microsoft. No. Micron. A bit overextended. That one was a little too volatile. Never really gave a great entry. Okay, let's keep looking. Netflix, horrible. Still can't come out of this downward funk it's in. Nvidia, kind of stalled, but overall, I would say still more sideways than anything. Okay, let's keep going. NXT, still kind of flat overall. PLTR. PLTR stalled. QQQ. Yeah, everything's kind of holding up, but still a bit stalled. You can see, let's go through the markets real fast as we pause here for a second. IWM down 0.28%, so just marginally down. Where's the Dow? The Dow is pretty much straight flat sideways. Okay. Sorry. Let me go to the SPY. So the S&P is actually up a titch. The SPY is actually up a titch, and the Nasdaq also up a titch. So they're trying. They're definitely trying. Okay, the real rolling over. So again, that one ended up squeaking out a little bit. Not much, but it squeaked out a little bit. Just kind of ground out sideways for a while. Then it moved up. Now it's kind of pulling back. I'd still be thinking about it. I would definitely still be thinking about it. Hey, Vladimir, good to see you. Rocket Lab. It's pushing this level here, which is higher than our trade alert target. Our target was 75. This thing's good to go. It's not getting much more than that, but it is at least getting that. So this thing has outperformed expectations. I would say you should manage according to that. Right? Manage according to that. Okay. What else? All right. Roku pulling back. Ross Stores pulling back. Both of these are still viable. RTX. Well, that thing turned and moved quickly. Right? It turned and moved quickly. All right. What else? Let's keep looking here. Silver flat. Nope. I guess it's still up 1% even today. Silver just can't stop. It's flying. It's crazy how strong that looks. All right, let's keep going here. SanDisk pulling back on the digital storage. SoFi was one that we were never too interested in. It's kind of lost some luster. Here's the SPY. Just kind of flat for the day. Yeah, I could see us really grinding out mostly flat the rest of the week. I think we could see it just do not much of anything. But if the buyers push, we definitely could have momentum. It's there, right? It's there. It has the capacity for it. Seagate Technologies pulling back. Again, digital storage, kind of iffy. Here's Teradyne, same thing. And that one's probably the strongest of all of them. TJX. Yeah. It's really kind of a just a mixed bag day. Some things are up, some are down, some are sideways. Nothing's up too much. Nothing's down too much. Yeah, it's interesting. I think it's interesting. Okay, what else? Okay, TSM. It's again, you can see TSM broke the 50-day, didn't quite get to the 100. Turned and bounced off of it, but really hasn't gained much ground from that point. So, yeah, not much there yet. The bullish dollar index is kind of holding steady. Here's the VIX. The VIX is flat at 14. What does that mean to me? It means that if anything, the bounce we're going to get is going to be bullish. This doesn't feel like it's struggling. It feels like it's doing just fine. Okay. Wayfair, this is consumer discretionary. I don't know. I'm about to drop this one. We never traded it. I don't think it looks great. Yeah, I would say that there's better. Okay. WBD. Someone asked about this. Steve C said, possible for a re-entry. I think I like Fox better because it's not, impacted by a set of news around it. But yeah, I think that this has some possibilities. I think that we caught the news in a good way, and we're able to get all of this. But I don't know. Is there more of that coming? I think it's hard to know. Let's see. WDC, more of the digital storage. Walmart. Yeah, Walmart's on a little bit of a drop, but overall, we'll see what comes from there. Overall, I would say it still looks okay. Still looks viable for a setup. Okay. The XLs. XLB. Bit overextended. Communication Services. XLC. Yeah, I can't. It looks like it wants to try to turn out of this thing, right? It looks like it wants to try to turn out of it. Just not yet. Okay. Let's see. XLE. Down. Not much there. XLF trying. That's where we see some good momentum. Okay. XLI. I think is trying to make some moves. XLK. Stalled a little bit. XLP. Pulled back. XLU pulled back. XLV. Still okay. XLY. Still okay. Yeah, I think we're starting to see just, some institutional wrap up as they pause for the break. I mean, I still am overall bullish, but I think we may see this thing just kind of grind out a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Looking that way so far? Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. Okay. Okay. Well, questions. We have, as far as for the rest of the week, normal Tuesday. We have both Q&A sessions tonight. We will have tomorrow morning's normal session. Then Thursday we're completely off. Then Friday normal. Glenn will start the day. I'll finish the day. So yeah, that's what we're looking at. Questions, anybody? Questions about any trades? Any questions at all? RCAT, yeah. We'll look at a few symbols. Why not? RCAT. If anyone else has one they want to take a peek at, I would say that one looks like it's popping for the first time in a while. Maybe a little too late for trying to get in this time. But overall still looks like things are starting to improve. What else? Anybody else have one? Let me know. All right. Well, everyone, it's not looking bad. It's not looking necessarily good. I think it's just sort of in a sideways, a little bit of a sideways push. Any questions before we wrap up? Let me know. I wouldn't expect large ranges. So if you're a day trader, be careful for what you're looking for. Right? Be careful. Be careful about the amount of range. There's just not that much range. It does look like we're moving that way. Melody. It does look like we're moving towards a later start time. So you'll get that extra 15 minutes. Good for you. Yeah. Yeah, a little bit of mixed reaction so far, but more seem to be favoring it than not as of now. Yeah. Any other questions, comments, concerns before we wrap up? Don't forget, only a couple shopping days left till Christmas. Make sure you get it done. Good to see everybody. Yeah. Hopefully, we'll still see you tomorrow in the morning. One last time before we wrap up for Christmas. It's great to see everyone. Let's continue the conversation in circle, if possible. I think that sounds like a good idea. And we'll go from there. So, thanks all. Merry Christmas to you. Happy Hanukkah. Happy holidays, etc. And as always, happy trading.